Whenever it comes to developing your back, there's kind of three main things that you want. So first of all, there is width. So everybody wants to develop their lats and their teres. That is going to be the outermost parts of the back. Now this big chunk right here, all of this is his teres major. This is extremely well developed on our boy. Right underneath that is kind of the lat that kind of comes across here and it connects even farther out, but it's generally the teres that's going to be popping out the majority of that mass that we're seeing. Then we look at the thickness. So thickness is after width. Generally people want to get some width to have some structure, but then you're going to want to have at least some thickness in your back. That's primarily going to be coming from kind of your traps and still a little bit of your lats, especially if we're talking in the lower back. And that's going to be making sure that this middle part pops out a little bit more. So in the lower part of his traps, it definitely pops out. But then whenever we're kind of looking at the upper traps, we just don't quite see the same level of kind of popped out appearance. You can see how it's a little bit softer in here, but you can even see a little bit of that kind of striated appearance. And that's because he's lean. He doesn't store a lot of fat in his back, but he just doesn't have significant mass in those middle and upper traps to really give him kind of that separation around that spinal vertebrae. And the rest of the traps just doesn't really pop out at you quite as much. Then if he wants this to pop out even more, centrally along each side of the spine, you have the erectors that will pop out the lower and upper back just the same because they go up and down that back. And then the last thing is the details. And what I like to think about the details is kind of this key area right here. And then this is still your teres, but it's your infraspinatus. It's the kind of the teres minor and it's the rear delts. All of this is going to give you a little bit more of that detailed back. So whenever you're doing a lat spread or a back double bicep, it's going to pop out a couple muscles that a lot of people just don't have. So it's going to make your back double bicep look special. And if you have significant development in some of these smaller muscle groups, well, then people who even have more mass than you might still not look as good because you still might have high development in some of the muscles where they have low development. And you can look comparatively better even at a smaller size.